Hello to the 5 people watching, welcome back to the channel. It's time for another video on Bitcoin. So the question is, are we in a bear market? Let's talk about it for a little bit. Well, according to the 4-year cycle, according to the stats, I should rather say, midterms elections in the United States have coincided every time with weakness in the price of Bitcoin. So midterms year in the States, that will be, well, next year, 2026. And just like we had in 2022 and 2018, those were bear markets. And the bear market always started in Q4 of the previous year, which is, well, we are in Q4 of the previous year, or the previous year before the midterms. Also, according to the 4-year cycle, which has worked until now, I know a lot of people don't believe in it. A lot of people think that it doesn't work anymore, it doesn't apply anymore, but here we are in Q4 of 2025. According to previous 4-year cycles, we should top in Q4 of 2020, in Q4 of the post-halving year, which we are in right now. There's also RSI, Relative Strength Index, on the, I believe it's on the weekly chart, that has been consistent with previous bull cycles, meaning that Bitcoin goes up, comes down to a certain level on the other side, and keep bouncing between very high levels on the RSI, coming back to the same line and going up again for the duration of the bull market. And once the RSI crosses and closes below that line, that has acted as support throughout the bull market. Statistically speaking, the bull market is over. And yes, we have gone below that level in this bull market in 2025, and we have closed below it. So that's another plus to say that the bull market is over. MACD, moving average convergence divergence, another indicator. The moving averages of that indicator have also crossed, and statistically each time that has happened, the bull market was already over. That's another plus. Now let's talk about sentiment. Normally, traditionally, bull markets and this is not only Bitcoin, it's just in general, when you see a top in markets, you have extreme greed. Okay, people get exuberant, people think that everybody's printing money, everybody's becoming rich, which are warning signs. But we did not have that in the month of October when we had the 126k top. We went, sentiment wise, we ticked from neutral to greed, but it was only one tick, and normally we get extreme greed. So it was only one tick from neutral to greed, and then it went below immediately. So I would say that's inconclusive, but I would go towards not being a sign that goes against this bull market being over. The indicator I use for having a look at the market sentiment, you can find it on CoinMarketCap. And there's going to be a fear and greed indicator there, along with other indicators, and they actually call them topping indicators. Well, if you look at those topic indicators, you'll see that most of them have not triggered, and especially the one which was the Pi cycle, it's called the Pi cycle indicator, has not triggered. Actually, not only it hasn't triggered, but it hasn't been even close to triggering. So from that perspective, that's another no for the bull market being over. And if you looked on YouTube, plenty of YouTubers that have very big channels with a lot of data, with a lot of spreadsheets, with a lot of indicators. And you know, if this was the top in the first week of October, all of them were basically wrong. So that to me, just to be clear, I'm not sure if the bear market started, because it's very hard to say, but I think the probabilities are pretty high. That's why I took profits in October. The market will throw you a curveball. Each and every cycle you have one of those situations where everybody agrees we're gonna go there, we're gonna go up to this price and that price, and what does the market do? Finds a way to make everybody wrong. So maybe, like I said, that's maybe me being contrarian, because I have to be honest, I was also taken by surprise. I did not expect the top to be in the first week of October, but you know what? The more I think about it, the more it makes sense. Why? Because it caught everyone by surprise. And that's what the market always does. No matter how many spreadsheets you have, how many indicators, on-chain indicators, that will give you lots and lots of data. If there's one thing that the market does, is throws you a curveball and takes you by surprise. That's why most of the YouTubers were wrong, which will make sense. So yes, I think the probabilities, in my opinion, not financial advice, that we are heading towards a bear market. And the fact that most people got caught by surprise, including me, makes me believe even more that we are heading towards a bear market that probably already started. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens this month, because we're in December, and seasonality wise, yes, we do put a top in Q4. There's still almost a month left, 3 weeks left or something like that, but let's see. Seasonality wise tends to be good for Bitcoin, Q4 of the pause halving here, but we'll see how high we go on this bounce. I think we went down significantly from 126 to 80k, and we're gonna have a bounce for sure. If you want to be really conservative, the only way you can tell if we're actually going into a bear market is, well, you have to wait and see where this bounce is going to end. Are we going to put a lower high, or are we going to put a higher high? I think the chances, in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, I think they're gonna be, I'm thinking it's going to be a lower high. We'll see. So as a summary, I think the probabilities are towards the fact that we are heading into a bear market. If you want confirmation to be sure, you'll have to wait until we see how high this bounce goes. If it's going to be a lower high, well, those probabilities will increase significantly that we're going to go in a bear market next year. And you can plan accordingly. Let me know down below. Are we in a bear market? Yes or no? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.